When you get ready to do video, whether it's live or otherwise, one of the first questions that usually comes to mind is, what should I make a video about? What should I say, right? That comes up all the time. It's one of the big questions I get asked more often than any other question. And usually we go from there. I want to change that question. So from now on, moving forward, before you make a video, the question that you're going to ask yourself is this: what role is this video going to play in my business? Okay, what role is this video going to play in my business? The reason why this is so important is because there are two different types of videos that you make on a day-to-day basis for your business, on a routine basis. The first is going to be your engagement. This is the type of video that you make where you're building a relationship with somebody, where they're probably going to talk back to you. You're going to have conversations with your audience. It really is more about relationship building. There might be an accidental sale that happens as a result of it, but you're not trying to sell. That's not your goal. The second type of video is more about your marketing. It's more about demonstrating the value of the product or service that you offer, creating a need for it with your audience, and then getting them to buy from you. Okay, so that's a sales video, sales and marketing. So you have two different types of videos: sales and marketing and engagement. The issue that many business owners have is that we try to combine both of those two things. So we go live and we're trying to sell and create entertainment at the same time. And that's very, very challenging, because when you do that, it feels like you're being fake, because you feel like you're being friendly to someone just to get them to buy from you. Now, that may or may not be the case. And then oftentimes it's not the case. And oftentimes, like, you want them to buy from you, but you also want to get to know them. Both of those two things are honest, and they are the same. They are not mutually exclusive. But if you're trying to do both in the same video and you are uncomfortable with selling, that's a key one, and you are uncomfortable with selling, it makes you feel like that used car salesman, right? And so now you find yourself in a situation where generally you don't want to go live or you don't want to do video because it always makes you feel uncomfortable. Okay, so now you're associating discomfort with video and live, which is what happens to so many of us over time, which is why we developed that aversion to going live. It is so important to keep in mind, though, that even though you have those two types of videos, right? You have your engagement and your sales video. The sales video is not actually what does the selling. The sales video is simply the place that people go to that, oh, okay, I press this button and I buy, okay? The actual selling part happens as a result of all of the other videos that you've posted before. So if you've posted engagement videos, if you posted, did we just become best friend videos? If you post, I know what I'm talking about videos, things like that. If you post those types of videos over the course of, say, the week in advance, then when you make a sales post, that sales post will work because of the other posts that you made. If, on the other hand, you only made sales posts that week and then you make a post on that Monday, you're not going to see a lot of results because you didn't have the runway of other types of posts to create the wave that would result in the sales. Okay. So what many business owners are trying to do, and if you think about the way that you approach business in the past, chances are you've been trying to create the wave and create the sale all in the same post, all in the same live, or you've been trying to create the wave and then a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to sell something, right? You're not using the momentum of the other types of posts to create the sales, because as much as it's about doing the activity, the engagement post and then the sales post, it's about the timing of those things. So it's not just that you can make an engagement post and make a sales post and bam, they're going to work. They have to be done on a cadence. There has to be a system that you're using, right? And I'm going to show you how to do that system. But it's important to note that so far you may have been doing all of the right things, just not at the right times, which is why they probably weren't giving you the results that you were looking for. Okay. So in our earlier videos, we talked about how we're going to have one video, one purpose, one call to action, right? So we're going to stick with that for right now. One video, one purpose, one call to action. As you do more video and get more and more experience, you will become more adept and comfortable at massaging those two goals together. And then you'll probably have lives and engagement things, and all of them are, you can combine them or separate them however you see fit. But when you're first starting out and you're new at doing video content and you're not sure how to do this properly, I strongly recommend keeping them separate until you're familiar with how these things engage together. Okay. So now in terms of going back to, we were talking about how to create that kind of content. In stage one, we talked about how you only need 3 to 5 posts a week to be able to be an active member on social media. And that remains the same. Okay. And we also talked about how you had 4 different types of engagement posts. In that case, we had the conversation starters. Did we just become best friends? We have the low stakes posts. I know what I'm talking about. And then we have the buy from me posts. Okay. We're going to use those exact same 5 categories for the videos. So it's all going to be the same. Anything that you've made a post about in the past for these categories, you can go back to now and see if you can make a video about it, right? Is there something that you're like, oh, you know what? I told them how to do a cross stitch. Now I will do a video showing them how to do a cross stitch, right? So now you can just do a video off of a post you've already made. So don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel or come up with something new every time. You can always go back to older content and repurpose it. This is not boring. This is not uninteresting. It's not going to lose you customers. In fact, it is the exact opposite. It is interesting, it is captivating, and it will get you more customers. Okay, so going back to your old content, repurposing it or recreating it in a different format is always, always a good choice. Okay. All right. Now, keep in mind that as we're going through the process of creating videos, you're already likely going to have those 3 to 5 posts from stage 1. You can replace any one of those posts with a video. Okay. You can be like, oh, you know what? I have this short 30-second video that I did. I'm going to use a video instead of a post. That's totally fine. That now becomes one of your 3 to 5 posts. Initially, I did mention that when you start, we're doing 3 to 5 posts as your baseline, and it's likely that you're going to have more, but the 3 to 5 posts are your engagement baseline to keep people in your sphere of influence. Okay. So that's really important to keep in mind, is that we will pile more on top as necessary, but those 3 to 5 are really there to keep your audience engaged. Okay. Included with this lesson is a video planning worksheet. Okay. Now the first page of the video planning worksheet is the page that you can use for your videos, whether they are live or just regular videos or however they are. The second page we're going to go over in lesson 3, where we're going to talk about how you can make live streaming work for you.